Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Open Minds to Open Hands. This is live stream, uncut, authentic version of this amazing podcast. The interview with an amazing friend of mine, Julie Diaz. Welcome, Julie. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing fantastic. I'm so happy to be here with you, Coach Eve.
Thank you. So you are a wellness champion, a health coach, and your book hit the number one best-selling on Amazon. Wow, how amazing is that?
Thank you. That was very exciting. It also made a hot new release in 10 categories. So that was a super exciting day for sure.
Yes. I will share all the links with you, my beautiful viewers, how you can able to grab this amazing book. And today we're gonna have a fantastic interview with Julie. This is her first time. This is her first time on our platform. So welcome her, welcome her. If you are watching us live and you have any questions, just feel free to use the live chat. Like I said, this is uncut version, raw and authentic of this podcast. If you don't know me, I'm Coach Eve. I'm known as the legendary Coach Eve, a hypnotherapist practitioner and positive mindset coach. Why I am legendary? Because I make things happen. I'm a battle-tested warrior who walked through fire, and I'm helping others to rise from it. And Julie, tell us, how was your week today?
Oh, my week was excellent. It was very busy. I did lots of work and I was preparing for my first master class, which is coming up next month, February 25th. And it's all about power immunity, how to say goodbye to colds and flus forever.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Thank you. We have a beautiful Marie watching us. Thank you. How are you, Marie? Thanks for your chat. Let me see if I can take that
Hi,
away.
Marie. Marie, you are the best.
Yes, we love to have you here.
Lovely lady. We love her.
So, Julie, your personal health journey is incredibly powerful. Can you share what led you to develop Hashimoto's?
Yeah, actually, I went undiagnosed for 10 years and I was already like a researcher in the holistic field. I was always attracted to herbology and supplements and research and all that. So I knew that I had a thyroid problem, but I went to like a dozen different doctors over the course of about 10 years, and they all told me I was fine. And that's pretty much because they only tested my TSH, T3, T4, and they were like, you're fine. It was normal. And it still is. And it was never abnormal. The only abnormal number was my thyroid antibodies. And those were not tested until 10 years after my journey of searching, when I finally went to this endocrinologist. And she wasn't even going to tell me. I saw it on her notepad. She was writing on my chart, consistent with Hashimoto's. Thank God my eyes were better back then and I was able to read it from across the room. And I said, "Oh, consistent with Hashimoto's. Is that my diagnosis?" And she was like, she looked a little embarrassed and she was like, "Yes." I'm like, "Really? You aren't going to tell me?" I've actually had two of my doctors tell me that they withhold the diagnosis because they don't really know how to treat autoimmune disease. Unfortunately, hopefully they're getting better at this point. I've stuck with the same two doctors now that I found good ones. I've stuck with them for many years. But yeah, when I finally got diagnosed, then I knew what I was dealing with. So then I could start my journey on conquering autoimmune disease, not just thyroid disease.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
That is a huge journey for you, but finally, your book and everything is saying how to overcome that. I just have to say a disclaimer before we continue. We are not doctors, we are not practitioners, we are just sharing our simple life story. So, this is a personal journey what Julie has been actually lived and want to share the life testimony of her journey. And I'm pretty sure our viewers will love to hear that. So please take notes because this teaching and this podcast is golden for people who are actually facing the same journey. You did mention autoimmune disease, and many people with autoimmune disease feel stuck in a cycle of symptoms of medication. What are the key root cause you uncovered in your own case? And conventional approaches often overlook that.
Okay, yeah, there are three main root causes to all autoimmune diseases: gut imbalance or intestinal permeability, toxicities, and hidden infections, and a genetic weakness. And just to add on to your disclaimer before we go forward, I am not a doctor, like you said, but I am a board certified drug list practitioner. So I am certified integrative health coach, and I work with clients one on one to help people with their health journeys. And yeah, so with the autoimmune disease, a lot of people that have hypothyroidism don't realize they have autoimmune disease. Um, but the crazy thing is that 95% of hypothyroidism is caused by Hashimoto's disease. So people think they have a thyroid problem, not realizing and not being told or tested for it that they have autoimmune disease. But once you realize that, then you can figure out what's going on and get to the root causes of it. So one of the major root causes is heavy metals toxicity. When I mention toxicities, some people have toxicities to heavy metals. Some people have mold. Some people have, there's a lot of pollutants in our water and our environment. So I can't stress enough how important it is to filter your water and drink a clean water source. Reverse osmosis is one of the best. Now we have hydrogen water. That's a new exciting form of water people are drinking. So, yeah, toxicities. And also, some people have hidden infections. They have no idea because they don't have symptoms. Some people have parasite infections, no symptoms. I had one. It's a microscopic one. I didn't have any intestinal or stomach symptoms at all. But I went and got tested, and I found that I had one. Did the cleanse, and got rid of it. I retested, and it was gone. And my doctor asked me what I did because he said that's a tough one to get rid of. And he's like, "What did you do?" And I told him about the herbs. I took 4 herbs, and I was able to get rid of it. So thank God. I didn't know it was a tough one to get rid of. I just said, "Oh, I'm going to try these herbs for a couple of months," and it worked.
That your story, it is so amazing. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for being here today.
Thank
Um,
you.
Yes, you are actually you're using a wide range of holistic modalities from nutrition, from supplements, essential oils. I heard
Mhm.
you use some frequency therapy. How do you decide which tool to use for your clients?
Okay, so when I'm working with clients, it's a very individualized approach because everyone is different, and I meet my clients where they are. Some people have a lot of knowledge already, and they've already done certain detoxes or cleanses, and some people have never done a detox. And in that case, I have to be very careful with them and guide them through and make sure that you know, they're ready for the cleanse and that they know how to eat and how to ramp up and go slowly and watch out for detox symptoms and how to handle it if they do start having a detox reaction. Um, and there's a lot of different things that always come to my mind right away when I'm working with people, but I take it at their pace. Some people get overwhelmed with too much information. I'm very cognizant of that. So in the first session, I do a lot of listening and I ask questions to assess what their symptoms are, what they've found out so far from their doctor. Do they have any lab tests they can share with me so I can look at their blood work? Because sometimes we have lab tests that, we don't get flagged because we might be in the range, but we might be like on the low end. There's things to look for, you know. So I do a lot of information gathering, and I always start with a few recommendations, even at the first session, to get them started feeling better. Whatever I think would be have the most impact right away to help them.
Yes, yes. I like you mentioned that a lot of people are overwhelmed and they feel, all this information, it is so new to them, the holistic approach, holistic healing is a huge spectrum of information. What is the narrowing down of simplicity for, let's say, for a person who is using holistic approach for the first time?
Well, one thing beyond, like, we talked about toxicities, right? So detoxing, getting the bad stuff out, that's one side. But then you have to think about what you're going to add in. You might be deficient in certain nutrients. Almost every client I have had has been deficient in vitamin D, very, very low vitamin D, and that affects everything. This is a fun fact about health. In your body, you have receptor sites in every single part of your body for only two things. One of them is vitamin D, and one of them is thyroid hormone 3. So all your cells need those hormones. And if you don't have enough, it can manifest in all different kinds of symptoms. And that's why it's like a kaleidoscope of symptoms with people that have Hashimoto's. Some people are cold all the time. Some people are hot. Some people are, well, most have weight gain, and fatigue. Those are common symptoms. But there's also nutrient deficiency because your metabolism slows down. Your digestive system is not as effective and efficient at absorbing the nutrients that you're eating. And never mind the fact that our soil is not as rich with those nutrients than it used to be. So it's very hard to get everything you need just from diet alone. And I sometimes have to convince people that they really do need to take some supplements, even if they've never taken them before. Because with Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism, there's nutrients that are commonly missing or deficient are magnesium, zinc, vitamin D, iron. Um, I'm missing one. It's I'm missing one. It'll come to me later. But these deficiencies can make a huge difference in how you feel when you restore those depleted, you know, parts of your body with those minerals and vitamins.
So I hope my amazing listeners who are watching us today, you write this down because this is golden information. And yes, I agree with Marie. Marie says your knowledge, Julie, is fantastic. Thank you, thank you.
Marie,
Uh, we have another
oh, so
live
simple.
chat coming in.
Did not.
There are so many
Yeah,
videos out there on how to detox. Yes, simple way to know what is good or not. Is
yeah.
there a simple way to know what is good or not related to detox? Mary asking us.
Yeah. Well, one thing a lot of people do to detox is a liquid detox. And I actually recommend against that in my book because you want to have fiber to help carry those toxins out. And you want to have fiber in your diet in the form of fruits and vegetables, preferably, but also grains if you're not on a grain free diet. Um, but there's some things that are called binders. There's a category of nutraceuticals called binders. I have one right here. Modified citrus pectin. This product, Pectisol by Econogenics, is one of the best products ever because it helps to bind and take out heavy metals, pesticides, ammonia, and it also prevents galectin 3 cells, which people are going to be like, what are galectin 3 cells? There's these rogue proteins that when they grow out of control can grow into a tumor. So it prevents them from sticking together, thus preventing cancer. And that's one of the things that I use to shrink my thyroid nodules so I don't have to worry about thyroid cancer anymore. And my doctor didn't get to cut my thyroid out, even though it seemed like he wanted to. Did I tell you
Wow.
the story of Dr. Cutthroat? That
No,
real quick.
please tell us. Share the story. Share the story.
I had two thyroid nodules come up on my ultrasound, right? So I go to this other endocrinologist because I fired the last one, not in person, but in my mind.
Yes.
So I go to the next endocrinologist, and he's telling me about, my nodules are suspicious and they're uneven, blah blah blah, and what are the chances of cancer? The chances were slightly higher for me because of the suspicious nature. And so I said, well, what if it's cancer? And his response was just to slit his throat with his fingers like this. And I was
Mm.
like, okay. In the moment, I'm a very nice person. Knowing me, I probably chuckled along with him. He thought he was being funny. But later I thought about it and I was like, geez, that was really unprofessional and unkind because I was worried about cancer. You shouldn't do that to a patient. So anyway, once he sent me for the needle biopsy where they put the needles in my neck 4 times, like an inch deep. They were really getting that needle in there. I didn't know why at first. I just thought that's how the test was. Turned out it took forever to get the results. I was on pins and needles waiting because I wanted to know if my program worked. I had put together this program and I asked him, can I do my natural medicine? And he was like, sure. How long do you want? And I said, 2 months. Off the top of my head, I said, 2 months. 2 months later, I go back in for the biopsy. They're digging in my neck. 10 days, long days later, I was so in suspense. He finally calls me and he says, I'm so sorry. They weren't able to get any cells out of your thyroid. I don't know if you want to do the test again. And I burst out laughing. I was like, "Are you kidding me? My program worked. Aren't you excited?" He was not. He was not. He sounded so sad. And I was like, "Well, would you like? I can send you the regimen. Would you like me to send it to you in email?" And he was like, "No, send it to me in the paper mail." I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, I'm going to waste my money and my time printing and mailing a packet to you just so you can probably put it to the side." I don't think he wanted to use that information to help
Oh,
his clients. I think he wanted to do surgeries because, it's part of
yes.
what they
Yeah.
do. That's how they make their money is they do surgery. So
Yes.
anyway, he didn't get to take my thyroid. It's still working. All of my numbers are in range and I do not take thyroid medication.
Wow. 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 That is a powerful, powerful statement. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that. We have another question coming in. They would like you to please repeat what you mentioned regarding the deficiencies, vitamin D, uh, magnesium, and what was the other ones?
Oh, selenium. That was the one I was forgetting. Of course, selenium. We all know. I
Yes.
think most people know selenium is good for our thyroid. And a lot of people eat 2 Brazil nuts a day for that reason, because Brazil nuts are so rich in selenium, right? And
Yes.
selenium is also anti-cancer because it's one of the antioxidants in addition to A, C, and E. So, yeah, so magnesium, vitamin D, selenium, zinc. And some people are iron deficient. I never have been, so that's one I wasn't deficient in. And some people have a deficiency in iodine.
Iodine. Oh,
But
yes.
iodine, that's another whole subject. You have to be very careful. That's what they call a Goldilocks nutrient. You don't want to have too little. You don't want to have too much. You got to be just right. So there was a big thing. A lot of people were taking megadoses of iodine because Dr. Brownstein published a book, and people still swear by it. And people were taking like 60 milligrams of iodine instead of like 2 milligrams. I mean, in our supplements, when these thyroid supplements have 150 micrograms, that's a tiny amount. So the thyroid pharmacist, Dr. Isabella Wentz, and Dr. Datis Karazian, and many other doctors advise against taking that amount. And they said that you shouldn't take iodine supplements unless you have a lab verified deficiency. You want to make sure that you're low because in our American diet and probably in the UK too, the food has iodine in it. So you have to be careful because the iodine supplementation has actually been shown to increase thyroid antibodies and speed up the destruction of the thyroid gland by increasing those antibodies. And another part of that, I'm just going to real quick. It's a long story, but the way that they were testing, they had a good theory, but when they were testing by giving people a huge amount of iodine and then testing how much was excreted in their urine, and if it was 90% or more, then they said that they had enough iodine, whatever. but they never looked at what was in the feces. And when they did a study with cows, they were finding that 50% of that iodine was coming out in the feces. So that just like just proves that I think that just blows that whole theory up right there. So not only can it increase your antibodies and make you, your thyroid gland get destroyed faster, but it can also, oh, what was the thing I was thinking? Because I just remembered the reason why people feel better right away. So many people swear by the iodine supplements because initially, when they start taking it, they feel more energy and they feel more clear headed. Is because their thyroid's essentially squeezing out extra amounts of the T3 and T4 thyroid hormones. So they feel better initially, but it's like it's burning it out. It's too fast, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
it and then it increases the antibodies and then leading to the destruction of the thyroid. So it's good initially, it's a feel good effect, and it happened to me. I tried it, I lived this. My antibodies increased to a higher number than they had ever been before. So then I went off the iodine, and I was only taking 3 drops a day of detoxidine, which is a nascent iodine from Dr. Edward Group, a great brand, and it's a great product. If people did need to take iodine, I would highly recommend Global Healing's detoxidine. But that's 1950 micrograms, not 60 milligrams. That's a huge,
Huge,
huge
huge
difference.
difference.
So yeah. Oh, what I was forgetting was not only does it cause the increase in antibodies, but that actually causes Hashimoto's. It
Wow,
causes
wow,
Hashimoto's disease in people that don't even have it yet.
wow.
So you
This is my
really,
next question I wanted to go
okay.
to. Yes, this is a whole nother show. So we have to have you back on our show to talk about this a little bit more detailed. Yeah. So
Sure.
listeners and beautiful people who are watching us, you are welcome to come and join us for our second show with Julie, because her knowledge, like yeah, I said, it's mind blowing. You created and you gathered the information, and what you have, oh my God, it's priceless. It's priceless. You can help thousands and thousands of people. That's amazing. And your book,
Well,
Conquer
thank you.
Hashimoto's, become a #1 bestseller. And this is what I wanted to ask you. What are the most common mistakes you see people with Hashimoto making?
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your kind words, Coach Eve. I really appreciate that. And yes, I'm a nerd and I study a lot. I call myself a nerd because I really get into researching stuff. But some of the common mistakes, first of all, are not getting the proper diagnosis. So it's not really a mistake on the patient's part. But if they know what to ask for, now they can go to their doctor with the list. Actually, I have a list of the tests to ask for in my book.
Yes.
So that's one thing, the diagnosis. The other mistake might be taking too much iodine. And the third mistake is not getting enough of those nutrients that are commonly deficient in people with thyroid issues.
So I will share the link, but you have all the link and all the information already when you are opening up or when you're watching us live on YouTube. But I will share the link how you can able to purchase this amazing book, and you have all that information inside the book for you, so you can go ahead and ask the right questions. And then you're able to discover, or you're able to get help faster. um,
Mhm.
how amazing is that? We are
Oh,
coming to the end. We have one more question, but go ahead, Julie. What would you like
okay.
to say?
I just wanted to squeeze in my website because people can also find my book on yourwellnesschampion.com and also on the services tab. I have my coaching packages there. And I have a shop because I also am an aromatherapist and I make some essential oil products that are there, as well as my books. If that somebody wanted a signed copy, they can purchase it directly from me. So
Wow. Well, I would like a signed copy, but I would like it to pick it up in person. That's my
I would love that. That would be amazing. Come to New York. Let's go.
yeah. Let's go to New York. New York, here I come. Here I
All
come.
right.
Well, Julie, it was amazing to have you on my show. Like I said, the information what you shared, I'm pretty sure it will help millions and thousands of people who are actually tapped into this show or watching the replay. But for listeners who want to take control of their health, but they feel discouraged over the years of illness, what is the first step? What you recommend them to take?
Immediately vitamin D comes to my mind. Make sure you have enough vitamin D because that affects everything. And like I said, your thyroid hormone 3 too. So to get your thyroid balanced. But don't be discouraged because I was so sick. I was so heavy. I was chronically fatigued. I was depressed. I was so anxious. I used to dread going to work, falling asleep in the car on the way home. It was really a hard time and I made it out, and so can you. And you take one step at a time. It doesn't happen overnight. It's not like there's a miracle cure. A lot of people want to just go to the doctor, get a pill, and be better instantly. But with thyroid, the thyroid disease is a chronic issue, so you have to take care of yourself, love yourself, and take good care of yourself, and you can get better.
Thank you, thank you.
Nerd.
And Marie saying you
Oh
are
my
a
God,
nutrition savvy. Yes, evidence based. Thank you,
I love.
thank you.
I want to take a
Yes,
screenshot
yes,
of that. I love. She made it into an acronym. Very
yes.
cool.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Marie.
Did you take this? Did you take the screenshot?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for being on my show. So stay tuned because I'm bringing amazing guests for you. And this channel, Open Minds to Open Hands, it is raw, authentic, and uncut. So we're coming to you live next week again. We're gonna have amazing Smonjala coming up about. We're gonna talk about your energetical campus. So that's gonna be a nice show. So stay tuned and come join us as well. And Julie, we welcome you back for next time. I can't
Thank
wait.
you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And follow me at Your Wellness Champion and stay tuned for my master classes because it's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of information.
Yes, 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 indeed. All the information will be in the comments for you how to connect with Julie, how you can get their coaching, and how you can get her book as well. So that's going to be all in the comments for you. All you got to do is just click the link to connect with Julie. Thank you guys. See you. Bye bye.